Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
Mina Kimes, she does like the NFL for ESPN. But anyway,
Yeah, I remember her. Okay.
Yeah, we could have skipped all this stuff. I didn't hear it.
You want to go right to the cam and?
I think it's gonna come up now. I think it's coming up right now.
Yeah,
Should have told you to skip 2 minutes.
That's right.
Noticed, like, this is a really interesting thing that has happened where the space has been occupied for a long time by Joe Rogan and Bill Simmons and Pardon My Take and us, and all of those people either are white or look white, and now Shannon Sharp is here to create disruption, and Cameron as well is here, and Cameron.
What?
Dude, I don't know if you want to say your piece on what he just wanted. I don't know. You could
here to create disruption. I don't understand. Is he talking? Okay. He said mainly white, and then he mentioned race, right? He mentioned race right there.
Yeah, this guy's like an anti-dubster, bro. He's like annoying in that kind of way.
Okay. I'll hear more about that. That was just a weird statement. I don't understand where
he's over the top.
Okay, here we go.
Cameron doesn't have to follow any rules about anything. He can do whatever he wants, and it's part of the reason I like that podcast. It's part of the reason
my voice can get deeper. It don't matter.
And
so
interesting to watch other people come into.
They're gonna continuously say, in my opinion, no. They did say that they continuously throughout this video. Yeah, I love this video. I love this podcast. It's my favorite podcast to watch. But I feel like, I don't know, there's like a tone of it, like it's like tongue in cheek almost. Like this is like a spectacle to you.
Okay.
I don't know, I get that feeling.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Okay. Now he did have. I remember it was back in the day when he had Cam on, and that was that became sort of a meme moment, right? Am I tripping? Like on his ESPN fucking shit, he had Cam on there. I'm pretty sure. That's from back in the day. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that shit.
All right, here we go.
To this space with different voices and carve out their space. It's one of the reasons that we signed up with All the Smoke, because we want to align ourselves with a wide diversity of opinion and voices.
That and the smoke.
That too.
Yeah.
And Cameron is doing something
diversity of voices,
and rejected, because you have to have some standards, I believe, and mine might be diminished, but not going to platform a murderer in order to get his football analysis. And so I've decided not to get the clicks that would get, because it will inevitably get clicks. But with all of that as precursor, I have no.
He's kind of tiptoeing.
Since my earliest.
The way his voice sounds, it sounds like he's like kind of tiptoeing around shit.
Yeah.
Like, just say your honest opinion, but it seems like he's. And I don't know what reason for it, but good.
The other fucker too, the other one that's in single cam.
Yeah. Well, I know he's had Cam on his show, even on it, like what I said, like some meme-worthy shit that he had when he had him on ESPN. So I don't know if it's because he's cool with Cam or some other shit, but he's tiptoeing around, 100%. Dan LeBatard is tiptoeing, and the other guy. I guess that's Stugatz, the other guy. I guess.
Yeah, Stugatz. Yeah.
Okay.
Sports childhood memories. It's the only tickets that I could get to games. My father didn't have enough money. Were the bad seats when Buffalo would come into town.
You've known of O.J. Simpson. You didn't know him growing up, did you?
No, but okay. I've been observing him for a long time, and I've known him since. Like, I've talked to him several times.
Making it sound like you're Cato over here.
Okay, I'm not Cato. Okay. I have been in his company a number of different times, and what I've never seen, because he's so calculated, so rehearsed, so careful, what I've never seen is him bare his teeth and show you the killer the way that he did when he was talking to Cameron.
You think I'm going to shoot the fair one with bang? You out your mind. Get 6'10". I'm going straight.
Bro,
I had to stop immediately, bro. I swear, Cam speaks different languages. I swear to God. He speaks different language. I don't know what. Yeah, fucking Cam. Let me go back. It's just funny, bro. I fucking
listen to
love
these little
Cam, bro.
weasels, bro. Like, listen to these little weasels and listen to Cam, bro. Like, bro, two different planets, bro.
All right.
Light years away.
Here we go. Here we go.
Teeth and show you the killer the way that he did when he was talking to Cameron.
You think I'm gonna shoot the fair one with Ben? You out your mind. Get 6'10". I'm going shoot. The shit that I'm gonna do is ridiculous. I'm from the danger zone. You gotta Google that. Go Google Lennox Avenue, the danger zone. Go Google Lennox Avenue, the danger zone, 139th Street. See what we do for a living. And when you come back next week, you'll be like, "Oh, Cam, you from over there?"
I'm from San Francisco Trail Hill Projects. I spent some time in some other kind of projects. I spent some time in some other kind of projects too.
Yo, let me tell you something about that real quick. I can tell you this. You ain't never heard nobody with me.
Oh my God.
How me and you get in the beef? I'm not beefing with you. How me and you get in the beef? We was talking about Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
There we go. That's my man.
That is as close as I've heard O.J. Simpson come to saying, "I've killed 2 people." Pablo, your thoughts?
Well, then in that book where he was like, "But if I did, this is how I would have gotten away with it."
He's still looking for the person who did it, right?
On the golf course.
Pablo, your thoughts on all of that?
It's like Cam trying to fit, or not Cam, fucking OJ trying to fit in.
Putting on more than the Cam and Mase show. It is what it is. It is my guiltiest pleasure. I love it. Cam is hilarious. My
The way they
favorite part
say that
of that
shit,
video, which
bro.
I had to revisit before talking.
What do you mean? Like they're not? These guys don't consider them legitimate, right?
That's what I'm saying,
basically,
bro.
right?
Guilty pleasure, yeah. Like they're not saying it though. They're saying shit. Cam, I'm sorry. I'm probably sure Cam wouldn't catch. They're trying to be slick with it, bro. They're using lawyer. They're using Derek Jeter talk to get a point across without being explicit about it.
Nah, these are the real sports experts, man. Come on. Here we go.
This
Today,
little
though, to Dan's point, is how that interview starts, because what Mase says. So Cam, for people who are familiar, Cameron, Killa Cam. Mase addresses Cam by saying, "Yo, Killa, I wanted to ask you something going forward." At the beginning, and just watch and listen to OJ as he hears someone address someone else by the word Killa. If you could play that video, I don't know if the video department has it.
Psychoanalyzing OJ.
That would be tremendous.
Where we're at.
Yo, Killa, I wanted to ask you something before we go forward.
Play it again. Play it again, please.
I thought he's not asking Cam.
Killa, I wanted to ask you something before we
Yeah,
go
exactly.
forward.
Cam.
That was for Cam, right?
Dude, they're trying to say that OJ had like a reaction to him saying.
I wasn't even catching that. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like looking at. It's like he's just talking about Cameron.
Play it again.
I thought they were saying like he's talking to OJ, and that's
No.
Play it again, please.
They're saying OJ thinks he is.
I wanted to ask you something before we go forward.
That's a confession.
It's a reach. That's
That's
definitely a
what I'm
reach right
saying,
there.
bro.
That's a fucking reach and a half.
Well, this is weird, bro.
He's like he literally this dude. I forgot his name. The dude on screen right now. He literally said it like, "You guys know Cameron, Killa Cam, right?"
Yeah.
It's like you're saying like. So then when Mase says you'll kill it, like I don't know.
Yeah. He thinks that OJ thinks he's being talked to.
OJ had some sort of Freudian like facial reaction to it or some shit.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
That
OJ had a Freudian.
That's a reach and a half. But not that I think OJ's innocent. I'm just saying.
No.
I think that's a reach and a half to be like. I don't know. So what? Are they going for some sort of dismissal? Like they're tiptoeing around, basically dismissing the show because they had OJ on and didn't call him a murderer off rip or something. Is that like kind of?
It's like I think Ghost used to do this in a different context. but like somebody that just states a fact and the tone seems like neutral, but it's like nah, this is not. It's almost like you're trying to hide the tone. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking like I want to hear what Dan LeBatard will get into that. What he considers the legitimacy of their show. So I'll let Dan LeBatard speak for himself.
Okay. Here we go.
I mean, that is as close you will get to OJ just being like, I can be myself here, right? And so that show, I mean, Dad, on Pablo Torre Finds Out, one of my first ideas was
I can be myself here, as in you guys are dangerous.
Of the guy who held the phone for OJ when he's taping those videos from the golf course, like doing his fantasy football talk. And it was decided that that was too dangerous, right? Like, are we really going to like do an OJ thing? Are we really going to tell the story of OJ and make light of it? And so I am just glad that through proxy, through Cam and Mase, I can actually indulge in, I think, a genuine fascination that everybody has stayed away from. Like men's magazines, GQ, Esquire, you know this, Dan. Like an OJ profile by now would have been done if not for the whole allegedly murdering people thing. And the only place he can be platformed with that level of intimacy and welcome, obviously, is going to be on a pseudo-satirical but actually real sports show hosted by two former rappers.
Oh, but to watch OJ's ascent through the labyrinth, Stugotz, the OJ Simpson documentary that our friend Ezra Edelman made, the funniest thing in it was OJ Simpson pivoting after all of the came his way, and he's wearing a dashiki in a church because now he's going to be maximum black guy, when earlier in the documentary what you're seeing is him saying, I'm not black. Like, I'm OJ. I can fit in any place. And now this begins his rehabilitation because he is charming, Pablo. Like, this is this is normalizing OJ Simpson now. Is O.J. Simpson going to be allowed a reinvention because media standards have crumbled and these guys don't have to listen to media standards and they can get more popular and get rewards? Stugotz has been trying to get O.J.
I don't know, is this a quasi George Bush hate group? Like George Bush reinvented himself and started bringing paintings on Ellen, right? And that was all good. I'm just sad.
Yeah.
In the political world, dude, it's like fuck 2 people. How about 2 million people, bro? It's like, fuck it. Yeah. And no one cares about that, guys. Murders.
No, I'm glad you bring that up because if you want to play that game, this guy's in bed with like fucking what's his name? Beto O'Rourke, like that. Like he's a super Democrat, like guy. Like,
oh, okay. He's like
Jake
that.
Tapper. Yeah, he fucks with Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper goes on the show like establishment, left-leaning people that go on the show all the time.
It's like, man.
Not to say that the right's any better. Right.
Like, hey, man, like cool graphics and stuff and wild colors does not make you real. No offense to him. I don't really watch him or know him that much. I've seen like some of his show when I had cable and I'd watch fucking ESPN. Right, and they do like 20 different shows all in a row with each other, and then Dan LeBatard would come on at some point, like in the late afternoon or something like that. Yeah, okay, that's when I see him. Other than that, like, I mean, fuck.
And Jordan, not only that, Jordan, he started a company. He's not. This is not his fucking house, bro. This is like a studio that God knows what costs monthly to pay and shit. You know what I mean? And lease, all that. Yeah. And this is like professionally made.
Oh yeah.
And he's on YouTube and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I knew he'd be popular, but at the same time, there's going to be moments where.
No, but this guy, bro.
Road,
this guy. Remember the dipshit I showed you? The right wing.
Yeah.
Sports guy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll give him that. He brings up a good point where like this guy's got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, tied behind like the way he does this show, and you compare it to that guy. This guy's got nothing, no budget, and he's pumping out similar views to that guy, like literally, like 55,000, 75,000 a day per video.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like, you know, like. You're a fucking idiot, but I mean, you made something out of nothing. I guess I'll give you that much.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, fuck, content sucks, man. Fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, but it sucks at the same time. There we go.
Someone, I'm OJ. I can fit in any place, and now this begins his rehabilitation because he is charming, Pablo. Like this is this is normalizing OJ Simpson now. Is OJ Simpson going to be allowed a reinvention because media standards have crumbled and these guys don't have to listen to media standards and they can get more popular and get rewards? Stugatz has been trying to get OJ Simpson on God Bless Football for 3 years.
Yep, every week. Mm-hmm.
It's look, I've been trying to get.
Are they worried?
Ricky Williams to connect me to OJ. He agreed at one point, apparently. Like Ricky had known OJ from back in the day.
Are these guys worried about like? Say, I hear what they're saying, like kind of underneath the surface, which is these guys don't have media stand. Like it's some two dumb rappers making a sports show. So they have no standards, and are the standards of media gone? Like, am I the pinnacle of media, sports media? Dan LeBatard going to be replaced by? Like, you kind of started that, bro. When you bring your dad on you had a TV show on ESPN, right? Where it'd be him and his dad, and his dad would say fucking, like, dick jokes, where they'd bleep it out. Like, it's kind of memey and funny, right? Well, guess what? Anyone can do that, man.
Yeah, it just wasn't funny. But, like, I don't know. It's like, multi-tier. Fuck, I was just gonna say something. What were you just talking about before you brought his dad up?
Oh, like these guys are invading the space of quote-unquote credited journalists, right? Cam and Mase are like these guys aren't of that level of journalism that these guys are.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that's what I think Dan LeBatard's saying.
It's a form of gatekeeping, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because at the core, wouldn't this statement hold ground that it's like you want them to exist, but you don't want them to have the biggest share. Like that's me putting my own conjecture into it. It doesn't seem like you don't want them to be at an elevated status above like credible people.
Yeah. Well, there's a like when I listen to fucking Too Raw for Sports, right? When I listen to that guy, that dude sounds like I don't know. It sounds like he's making sense. He's like connecting eras and bringing up stats and all this shit I never fucking heard of. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying like it sounds like educated from what he's saying. I understand Mase and fucking Cam are probably gonna be trolling a lot of the time and like having fun and shit. I get it, but it seems like these guys are saying like, well, they didn't go to school for that. Like they're kind of making that point, if that makes sense. Like you didn't go to school for this.
Kind of what? Yeah, that's kind of. It's almost like they're trying to be like elitist. Like, oh, we're better than them.
And it's like some people do have a talent in these areas where they can be like more intriguing, more captivating than your shit, even though you've been on ESPN before. Like maybe that's not the standard now. Maybe being on ESPN doesn't make it a standard, or being on an FM radio station or whatever the fuck. Maybe that's not the standard, or not the go-to standard just for listeners. Maybe listeners want something that's just interesting. It doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as it's interesting. Maybe that's why, ESPN sucks ass now. And let's be honest, these guys and their names are affiliated with something like ESPN. That's where people found out about them. So, but whatever. There we go.
Yeah.
Connect me to OJ. He agreed at one point, apparently. Like he had known OJ from back in the day as, I guess, running backs club or something. Whether that's real or figurative. And so I have been trying to get to him too. But the question of like, will he ever be held to account? I think one thing that's safe to say, as much as I love that show,
I think he's been held to account.
They're not exactly deposing OJ Simpson.
Oh no,
right?
but Pablo, as the media crumbles, that's the place people are going to go. Places like that are where they can be interviewed safely.
But deposing OJ, like we still want that. We expect them to do that. I just want to ask them who's going to win the AFC NFC Championship game. I mean, that's deposing.
Well, it just feels like at a certain point, right?
Why are you showing this guy
There are
biting his
questions
nails?
that he
Yeah,
has
they
never
did it
actually
badly.
admitted answers to. And to Mike's point, he did write a book in which he basically said, if I were to admit these answers, here's how it would go. So maybe it's settled law. Maybe you're right on that, Stugotz. But it just feels like the question is, when do any of us feel icky? And I think if you are in anything resembling the business of accountability and news, you can't ignore that.
Pablo, I think that loses now. I think the currency now is attention. Doesn't matter how you get it. And people hate the media. They don't care about the media standards. They're not the average person's standards. I think that loses.
They also care about catching people on their own hypocrisies. They love that. And platforming O.J. Simpson while other shows take other moral stances, including this one, that would be quite the hypocrisy. There's reasons why you don't platform O.J. Simpson, or at least this show doesn't editorially. It's a bad decision. It's nasty. We've all, for the most part, have reached general consensus that he got away with murder. And in the civil trial, he was found responsible for it. So there is an exploration here that's interesting as to why that show can do it, and the way that certain people project standards from people that approach media from a more conventional space as opposed to an unconventional background. But let's be clear, O.J. Simpson isn't on other shows because O.J. Simpson is believed to have murdered 2 people.
Pablo?
Yeah, it's funny. I text Ezra clips from that show. Ezra Edelman.
Probably true, right?
Yeah,
but I don't know.
It's the way they're coming off, bro.
What stops Cam or Mase asking questions about the murder shit? Did he maybe they promised beforehand? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe legally or something.
Maybe they're worried about access. Like maybe they won't get OJ on again, and they know it's like it gets them a lot of views when they have OJ Simpson on. I don't know. I mean, there's a point to what they're saying. It's just, it's like, I don't know. What would you guys be doing if you had OJ Simpson? Would you just ask him, "Hey, did you murder your wife?" Like, is that how you would go about it? And that's what I'm very curious about that. Like, what would be their approach to it?
Well, Jordan, they got the ultimate backdoor on that. Is we will never platform him. That's what they would say. They don't ever have to contemplate that, and they probably fail at that, at their own goal.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I could be wrong, but if I had to guess, they probably these group of gentlemen would probably fail.
There's also this weird little mask thing there. Like I said, I get what they're saying as far as the Dan LeBatard people and his whole crew and shit. I get what they're saying. It's just there's this weird little mask that you guys have some sort of moral thing with what you do, and quote unquote lesser shows don't. And I fail to see the separation, other than it's Cam and Mase, right? They troll and they crack jokes, and they're just doing sports talk, they're barbershop talk and all that shit. I get it, but I wonder please give me the actual separation between these guys. Like, what's the actual separation? I'm a credible sports guy because I've talked to A, B, and C. Well, guess what? Cam's doing that now. He's talking to A, B, and C as well.
And they want to come to him. They're not running to you.
Yes.
I'm sure he gets. No, he got a couple people. Like, it's a big show, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Wait a minute. Didn't LeBatard just mention fucking Shannon Sharp, right? Now you tell me if that doesn't fucking include something like Cat Williams, even though it's not sport. That's not sports, right?
Yeah.
But come on, someone saying that shit on fucking in front of millions of people.
This guy would cut his mic, all that. He get him out of there.
Like, hold on, you can't just there'd be chopped and edited versions of that fucking shit, all chopped up and whatnot.
Yeah, Cat Williams started saying like shit about the LGBT community. Yeah, he get kicked out of there quickly.
Yeah, it's what's up? Hold on, guys. Recording something. And that's right, I am recording. Trying to rock bottom these fools. It's time to get into sports shit. It needs to happen. But
I think it's an easy place to navigate through.
All right. Wait. Let me ask you: is there more to this? Something I'm just not picking up yet, or have they explained themselves? You tell me.
I'd say listen all the way through. I forgot, but I feel like we should keep listening.
There's some tail and shit. All right, here we go.
Show and clips of OJ, and he's just not interested at this point. I'm trying to bait him back in because Ezra, what he did with OJ Made in America, the greatest documentary I've ever seen, is he did a write around. OJ refused to participate, right? So this question of also like, this is the larger picture of media, is that if you don't give it, and I credit in many ways Cam and Mace's ability or just lack of need to give it. If you don't give it, you can platform whoever you want. And if you are trying to do something that tells a cohesive story that is fair to all of the parties who have ever been impacted by this person, well, it's a lot like, do we carry Donald Trump's press conferences live on CNN? That was a debate happening this week inside of CNN's newsrooms, and everyone's like, well, it's something people would watch. It's newsworthy on its face because people would want to watch it because it's something that is definitionally new. But do we do this because we have to consider victims, whether that be victims in a literal sense or people who are being slandered and lied about, who are being impacted by this guy's rhetoric?
But Pablo, the decision that's being made when capitalism is near media, one of the victims is going to be the media because CNN, if it doesn't show Trump, loses the viewers that it gets with Trump. CNN is dying, at least in part, because it doesn't cover Trump.
Well, this is
this is some full. I didn't know.
Very easy for the people.
I didn't know these motherfuckers were into politics like that. Oh god dang!
You should skim through their previous videos and see who they've had on.
I didn't know they're into it like that. God dang! He just brought up, the capitalist. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. This disaster capitalist, like he's doing like this shit, bro. Like,
he's cool with Adam McKay, bro. Adam McKay goes on the show.
Really?
Okay. Adam McKay, yeah, he's like big into the Democrats.
Oh man, are they trying to? Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I don't know if they're trying to merge sports and politics together, but
no, I would say it's a sports show. I would definitely. They dabble into other things, but it's a sports show.
Okay.
I'll give them that.
Okay. Here we go.
People to say, we want everything. We can actually handle the truth. I hear Vivek Ramaswamy, my former classmate, who's now vociferously endorsing Trump, say this all the time. I am here for truth. We can handle it. And in all of these platforms that are not actual newsrooms, and I group weirdly Cam and Mase into this group too, alongside everybody who likes to put on Trump and do it without any sort of standard or inspection journalistically. You don't want truth either, right? Because you're not asking the hardest questions. The difference.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I haven't really watched their show, but does that apply to these guys?
You could put them in the same scenario.
Well,
more people than fucking OJ.
Well, it's like the way he's sounding is sounding like he's making some sort of thing about journalism, like that. And it's like usually those type of guys who say shit like that usually have, like I said, George W. Bush right in front of their faces, painting pictures like, "Hey, look at my new painting," right in front of their faces. They don't ask a fucking question about what this guy has done. But
I think these guys would ask about George Bush. They would.
Really?
Bush, yes.
Okay.
Because it's like obvious.
Okay, something that's not so obvious, but it's
something that's not more so obvious. Yeah.
Can I do Obama? Would Obama just
work
well?
Obama would probably pass.
Okay, got it. Meaning there's leaks in your boat. So who the fuck are you as far as the beacon of journalistic integrity? Like, where are you at on that level, on that scale? And it's like, I could no offense, I'm a nobody YouTuber guy, especially my political channel like that. I mean, I can look at you hey, what are you guys missing out on? It's like someone can do it to me too as well. So it's like I don't know where I get it, but their things are so cliche and obvious. I don't trust their sense of criticism, their critical thinking skills. I don't trust it because guess what? How hard is it to point out like, hey man, maybe OJ killed someone and we should critique that guy, or even George W. Bush. That's kind of a gimme like childish version, but Obama might be a little bit more difficult for guys who consider themselves to be this political leaning. So, I mean, it's like, is who's going to scorch you guys? Guess what? People who would scorch these guys on their political takes probably don't have fucking degrees at whatever the fuck Miami U or whatever the fucking schools these motherfuckers went to. Right? They didn't work in Bristol, right?
Nope.
They didn't have a fucking TV slot at ESPN. So, I don't know who these guys, like, I don't know. And I'd honestly have to see more of their shit to be like, where do you guys stack up as far as your credibility goes to be saying this type of shit? We need us, the prestigious types, to be able to question, this or that. But dumbasses like Cam and Mase aren't going to do it. It's like, well, probably, like, to be honest with you, Cam and Mase are probably not going to do that shit because they're gonna want fucking OJ back on. But at the same time, like, you're going to do that shit because you want Obama or some motherfucker to come back on. Did they question Ray Lewis? Have they done that?
They fucking asked him in the look through the comments.
Look at the comments. Did they say that in the comments?
When you're done with this, somebody will ask him that.
Oh, it's like buried. I'll look for it. I'll look for it at the end. All right, let's finish. I'm sure they have a ball with Ray Lewis. Whatever. I don't know. I don't watch their shit. But here we go.
The difference between CNN and them, though, is that CNN has a newsroom that has standards that are meant to say, Dan, in an increasingly unprofitable world.
There you go.
You just said CNN has standards. There
you go. That's who you're not dealing with, like, super enlightened people on the subject.
It's like it's just critical thinking, man. Where are these guys at? Oh shit. Okay.
CNN and them, though, is that CNN has a newsroom that has standards that are meant to say, Dan, in an increasingly unprofitable
We're the fifth estate,
world,
man.
we care about whether the truth in that journalistic sense is being served. And so it's really easy to run against those institutions that are scoldy and moral.
You said truth in that journalistic sense of it. And then he kept going. All right, I get that. I get it, but he's talking about like it's some sort of club that he's in, that everyone else is following those same exact rules. Like, bullshit, bro. Bull fucking shit. No offense, but just strictly, forget politics. Just strictly on sports talk, bro. Just by all the videos and shit I've been watching recently, especially about the is LeBron the GOAT type shit. Like, you motherfuckers don't have integrity in that fucking world, bro. Like, at all. Like, come on. There's no fucking standards, bro. It's just whatever gets you the views at the time, man. Like, let's be honest. Why are we bullshitting about this? Why is ESPN like making up like certain like stat lines or certain like like, oh my God, LeBron has the most points on December 23rd in NBA history. Like, who's talking about December 23rd? Why is that important? What does it to do with like being good at basketball? Like, in any sense of it. Like, they'll like make up stat lines for for shit like that. And it's not just LeBron. It's sports in general. It's just to create a topic for the day so that 10 fucking shows in a row can all talk about the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
On two different channels. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, same subject in different ways. That's all.
Yeah. When I had cable and there's like Fox Sports 1, right? And you have ESPN, and that's kind of those are the two like juggernauts basically. Right? Arguing back and forth with each other kind of. But they're covering the same topics for 10 straight shows. And it's like, please tell me about the beacon of integrity in journalism, whoever the fuck this guy is. Like, please tell me about it.
Well, this guy, he calls that debate
bros.
Journalism. Yeah, the debate. No, not debate bros, but like, how Skip and Stephen A have now made those like that the formula where like you said, there's 10 shows and they're all arguing back and forth with each other in each show about certain, like they got opposing views on certain news articles of the day that seemingly seem to be the same on each show, back in one after another.
Yeah.
So this guy like says like, oh, he doesn't like that. These guys don't like that on this channel. They say that's what's like ruined sports journalism.
So
or
they're
like sports
the indie beatniks of sports, then, I guess.
What happened?
They're the indie beatniks of fucking sports, then. They sit in coffee shops and snap their fucking fingers and say,
Yeah, they're like the Brooklyn, like, what do you, like, they call it the Brooklyn left. These guys are in that camp. I would put them there.
I understand, and I get why that happened and why people do that, because they obviously see some sort of ruse happening, right? ESPN and Fox Sports 1, the way they do their television, like it's an obvious fucking ruse happening.
But I will say, Jordan, not that I don't doubt that Dan's like, oh, he's really about that shit. At the same time, it's like they gave you a chance, like you said, with his father. He did it by himself, then he did it with his father, then he did it with his father and that dude, Bomani Jones. Like, they've given you opportunities. And then eventually they did fire him when, like, because his ratings decreased.
Yeah.
Because this style of show wasn't getting traction. And so, like, that's why I question, like, him in particular. Like, because I've never heard him say, like, yeah. I never heard him say shit. Like, oh, I just didn't live up to a certain standard. It's more like his show isn't compatible with the current way fucking shows are rated, but not in a way where he's self-reflective about it. It's more like it's on everybody else's problem.
Yeah.
Everybody else's, not his. And that MAGA dude, he brings it up, and I'm like, yeah, he's got a point there. Like it's like kind of transparent, like, you know, like people, like, he's just very transparent with that shit. Where
yeah,
if it's a certain subject regarding like Stephen A. or Skip or whatever, it's coming from like a place of like resentment or whatever. Like, when there's bad news, it's extra juicy for them.
That's probably the statement of the year when it comes to this type of shit. When there's a crisis, it is a fucking holiday. And that definitely applies to all areas, not just sports, obviously. But I don't know. All right, let's just keep playing this. 2 minutes left. There we go.
And so it's really easy to run against those institutions that are scoldy and moralistic.
Pablo, the truth
and
is
censoring.
the truth is dying, Pablo. The truth. Like, what are you talking about?
You're criticizing.
And they're like me
you
from
yourself enjoy. Like,
2009.
I just want to be entertained. I don't care about anything.
But still,
I just want.
They're like me from 2009, but I didn't have an ESPN show to where it's like the things where he's just on that free ride of things where it's like, oh man, things are getting better. Because why is it getting better? Because I have a show on ESPN and I'm one of those guys. I'm a truth teller. I made it. I made it, so I can do these things. It's like, it's like the truth is dying, man. Like, he's like jaded like that. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. All right, here we go.
The truth. Like, what are you talking about?
You're criticizing a show that you yourself enjoy. Like, think about what you're doing there. I just want to be entertained. I don't care about anything.
But still,
I just want to be entertained. I feel like media right now
Is that
needs a commissioner. And
is that this guy's real personality?
Commissioner of sports media.
No, he's trolling.
He's trolling, right?
Be the commissioner of sports media.
The guy that just admitted that he wanted to have OJ on
That's
for
right.
3 years.
Look, I fully understand the entertainment impulse. I want it. I'm guilty of it. All I'm saying, though, is that those people, whether you're Pat McAfee or Cam or whoever else wants to put on a Trump rally uncensored with no editing or no footnoting, you're just not interviewing. You're not doing news. And so you just got to be very clear about what it is and what it isn't. And all we have
What is the news? Tell us.
The members of what journalists used to be inside of us is to say, here's the degree of
what journalists used to be.
because
Daniel
there's a standard we
Ellsberg.
want to hold ourselves to.
I don't know.
And it's easier and more fun to go the other way. And I myself
Nobody
will click on
cares
that
about
stuff.
Pablo. Nobody
But
cares about the standard. Like
we
no
have
one's more
vocabulary.
No
That's
one
what
is.
we have.
No one is more self-obsessed about being interested in the media standard than the media. And the standard's dying. The standard's losing. It's losing to capitalism, and truth is losing. And no one cares about what our standards are.
If you guys care about the truth, we can talk about Paul Pierce later.
About truth? I thought it was about like. Well, I thought it was just a hodgepodge of fucking opinions. That's what's happening. All right? Isn't that the phenomenon that's happening? As far as media goes, even in like, just strictly even sports, right? That's what's happening. There's 10 million different fucking opinions, right?
Can I say something? Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
It's the times, dude. Like everything that everybody thinks that they should have an opinion, and truth goes out the door. Sorry to say that.
Yeah, but whose truth and what measure of truth? Because certain things are clearly subjective.
Right, but like you shouldn't, like if you look at an event, right? So like you're supposed to write an article, you look at an event and you're like, oh, this is what happened, right? People have a tendency of inserting their own opinions now through their articles and not putting out the news exactly properly. If you see an event, hold on, no. But journalism shouldn't be like that, though. You should be putting out the truth, not your own opinions.
No, but that's not like. Let's say we're talking about sports, right? And once again, let me go on my LeBron hate train here, right? LeBron James scores 40 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. But if some guy sits there and analyzes each point he scores and each assist and each rebound and sees like he's just standing still and the ball lands in his hand, rebound. Or he throws it and some guy does some double, triple crossover and scores a fucking basket, assist. LeBron James, wide open fast break, 2 points. And then it all amounts to 40 points, 13 rebounds, whatever, 12 assists, whatever, right? Then guess what? His numbers aren't actually telling the story. You need someone's opinion in there saying like, oh, he's stat pad.
Oh, but that's fine. That's not what we're... Okay, hold on. My thing keeps turning up. You know how my mic's screwed. So the problem that you're having is not that. That's detail that's actually should be put in there, right? You should be describing what you're seeing.
That's someone's opinion. Go ahead.
But like the problem is inserting things that shouldn't be in there, like a cop gunned down a black man. Oh, that's fucking racially biased, and it's like, where did that fucking come from?
That's someone analysis of the scenario, just like LeBron's fucking 40 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists. It's the same thing.
We are told to trust the news and to trust journalism, right? We were told to do that because it's news. It's supposed to be news. If somebody looks at that and is like, okay, you know what, that might have been racially biased, but not the cat's not out of the bag yet. So people will look at that and take it at face value and be like, oh yeah, like he freaking hurt the black man because it's racially biased. And then there'll be some people who actually have critical thinking, like, yeah, it does look like that. Let's wait until the verdict is out. Not a lot of people have those skills, though. That's the problem. That's all.
Well, you don't wait till the verdict is out. You assess the situation best as you can.
Yes, you get what I'm saying, though. You don't automatically take that thing at face value, though. That's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying with the 10 million different voices all talking about one topic.
And a lot of them will place it as fact, right? They'll put it as fact when it actually should be looked at differently. Like if I was a journalist, I would be using wording like, this may look like this to me. This looked like racial bias, but I don't know. There needs to be more analysis to this than my own opinion.
Well, they usually do that. That's the thing. They usually
don't.
Yes, they do.
These days.
And what they do is they take the 10 million voices who have all opinions on Twitter and YouTube or wherever the fuck. They take those voices and use them as saying like, you know, Bob on Twitter saying it looks racist. It's racist, or this random celebrity says, "Hey man, this is racist," or whatever the fuck. They use those. I don't think they directly say those things. Like, this is clearly racist.
They do say it. Like, even the freaking New York Times has been called out multiple times for that.
An editorial or a, like, straight up, like, we're describing what happened in an event?
Details of the news, yes. It's the reason why, like, actually, some of the riots happened in George Floyd. That's a major problem in the U.S.
Oh, that
Because
one,
our news
that's
outlets
a
have a
different
tendency
topic.
to hold on,
Clearly
hold on.
see some dudes. Someone. It's like,
Hold on.
sorry, people can
Hold
take
on.
that the wrong way.
But there's multiple different angles. And they found out that George Floyd had been using fentanyl.
Yes, I know.
And that's a major drug. And he took enough to fucking overdose, right? But nobody, hold on. Face value right there. Face value. Is people saw a guy on the ground fucking having a cop in his neck, right? They didn't even look at the fucking autopsy that was put out shortly after that.
Well,
a lot of people denied it, and they didn't look at it because a lot of journalists came out and said, "Oh yeah, George Floyd died from a fucking injury to the neck." They found out that's not true. It was a fentanyl overdose because he just ate the whole fucking packet he had in his pocket. Yeah, that happened.
Well, some people say
I
like
don't like
sitting on him didn't help that at all.
The way that they twist shit now too. So that there's something else. Like, I'm very, very, very keen on paying attention to shit like this because I want the truth and not fucking some kind of biased bullshit.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Well, let me try to finish up this
I
video.
want to be able to look at the situation.
I already know this is going to go into outer space.
Hold on.
I already
Hold
know.
on. Yo,
But go
bro.
ahead.
Yeah, bro. I want to look at a situation. I want to look at the situation in detail and fucking figure out my own conclusions. Because that's what you have to do. If you believe, oh yeah, like I see a black man getting stabbed and the cop was yelling slurs. Yeah, that's fucking definitely racial bias, and the cop should be charged for that. He should go to fucking jail, right? That is my own thing because I observed it.
Well,
But when you have journalists doing their own opinions and paperwork and in writing, right? It's much more hard to judge because you do not see it yourself.
But dude, like we can get into this after I end this recording. But
I'm sorry.
But yeah, there's a lot more into it than I think you realize. I don't think you're considering certain options that are existing on planet Earth. But I'll get into it.
Yes. Well, thank you for at least indulging me now.
Yeah. By the way, like damn, we went to George Floyd. God damn. No, that's fine. It's fine. All right. So, I mean, yeah, I don't like anyone as far as opinions go. I mean, I'll be an asshole. I'll be honest about it. Like if I hear an opinion that sounds stupid to me, I'll let them know that it's stupid. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take some because I was on ESPN or because there's some sort of like beacon of standard of journalism that this other person can't say their opinion about something or talk to someone or whatever the fuck. I think that's hogwash. Forget my British. It's hogwash and bullshit. But they do have some points about the standards of like I guess truth telling, but I think they're hypocrites within their own idea of those standards. If that makes sense.
Most definitely.
What do you got, Anthony? If you got like a conclusion or point you
Um,
want to add on.
conclusion or point.
Just anything you want to say. If you got nothing, you got nothing. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's yeah, I'll just leave it.
well, to be honest, this topic will probably come back up again because I plan on doing more sports shit on the little channel I made. I plan on doing more and more sports stuff. I just haven't got and gaming stuff. I just have not got to it. It's just been strictly movies and TV and shit. So, all right, there you go. I don't even have a name for this segment. Whatever. There's Dan LeBatard. There's our channel. Yeah.